So welcome everybody to the August 2024, like 2024. I gotta make sure I'm in the right year too. This is our Sacred Rhythms forecast. This is where Nancy and myself come live into our group, into the community of Cosmic Earth Weavers, and also share this out where everybody else can find it too, the forecast. And we take some time to look at what's coming up for us for the month ahead. And we kind of dive into astrology and numerology, cardology, the wheel of the year, and the energetics, the feel, the messages that are coming in. So welcome if this is your first time joining us for a forecast, and welcome to all those that do. I know there's regulars that come in either live when you can, or that you are there on a replay and you say hi, and whatever way you join us, say hi so we know that you have seen this video. And obviously, because right now we are live, we'd love to know if you guys are here with us. So as we were landing into this, I was doing a post for the community this morning. And I was thinking, when is Nancy and we must be doing the forecast this week. Like because we only have 3 days left of this month. And I looked at my calendar last night and I looked at this morning on my phone, my Google calendar, and I thought, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. Why do I feel like there's something? And then it hit me. So in 30 minutes, I was like, holy man, I got a lot to do in 30 minutes. But I'm like, I'm going to roll with the fiery Leo energy here, because that is the theme of like, it's just going. So I think we can accomplish a lot in very small spans of time, which I just did in 30 minutes. And we're excited that we actually got our live stream going into our community, because the last 2 months with the changes with Zoom, we haven't been able to. We've had to do it on a main page. Trick with that was, in case any of you guys want to know this and you're having some issues, is using some old links that you have for regular calls for your groups, for your community. They're not hooking up into them. So you have to do a fresh new link. And that's what we've learned in the last 2 months. So I'm glad that I've made it here, and it is July 29th as we're doing this live, I think, right, Nancy? It's the 29th. It's Monday. It's Monday.
Yes.
So how are you doing this morning, Nancy? You look like, you're kind of just waking up and getting into your day. I mean, it is morning time for you. What's up?
Absolutely. Yes. I woke up and wrote like 7 pages of journaling this morning. I was like, oh, I just need to shift and move a bunch of stuff. And that felt really good. And was like, okay, now I'm here with my coffee. I even did that. I was like, I'm not even making coffee. I just literally got up, grabbed a piece of paper, sat down, and was like, whoosh. I'm like, okay, now I have my coffee and I'm here and I'm present and excited for this call. We have some rain here in British Columbia, which many of you know is very important for us. We have some unfortunate fires going on, and so very grateful for that. And yeah, just settling in, trying to understand where July went. I know I feel like we say this every month and feel a little bit broken recordy. And I'm like, okay, landing into the acceptance of this is how fast time is going these days. And also being like, we get to be at choice. We can slow this down for ourselves. I'm like, okay, the next few days of July, let's just slow down. I mean, I'm an August baby, so I am always excited for August, but I'm not ready for July to be done yet, in all honesty. Mm-hmm.
Nancy looks like her lioness mane of hair is like just like beautiful and shiny. Like, I mean, doesn't she look like a lion? I mean, seriously. So your birthday's on the 20th, so you're cusping very close over to that
Yes.
Virgo, Virgo-ness. I'm gonna make up words this morning, apparently, too. That's a thing I do. The Virgo-ness, sure.
Love it.
You're feeling, and you're definitely looking the lion Leo energy coming through. But I love, it's almost like this lazy, enjoying basking in the sun slow down for those last few days of July. And I'm like, I'm going to take that medicine. And if I don't know if anybody's here with us, because I'm not over on that page to look, but how does that feel like just for us to try to slow it down a little, savor the last drops of July as we really, August will get going again. But yeah, we do sound like a broken record, in the sense of, I'm sure a lot of us feel that way in the sense of it's just so fast, it's going so quick, and it's not even comparable each month to the speed of the last month. It's another speed. The speed just keeps on, the frequencies are like high. The codes, this time, like everything is just moving very quickly. Lots happens in a day. We're learning how to process all that, like personally, what happens in a day internally and in our world around us. Like we think about a couple weekends back, like all like there was a lot in the world. Um, and there's a lot every day, right? And it's just that's all going to get louder too. So how are we navigating this, right? How are we navigating the internal world and that wisdom? And so, for myself, like leaning into today, thinking my day was like, oh, I just, what do I want to do with this day? And how do I want to start my week? Which I still have the opportunity and all that. But all of a sudden there was this like, oh, you have this. You got to go, you got to shift, you got to do this very quickly. And so as I'm landing in, I'm realizing and feeling how much control and choice we have in shifting the flow of our energy very quickly. Where before it might have frazzled, certain things might frazzle us a lot longer. But Nancy, are you feeling that like we can shift though, like
Yes.
quickly from the flows and the energies and the emotions and choices that are coming up for us?
And yes, and I also feel like I, I feel like there's been this container of intensity to bring those things up and be like, okay, yes, like where do you choose to be? Like feel it. Don't put you can't push it down anymore. Like it's like this almost this boiling point. But as you're bringing it up, you're presented with choice of do you want to stay here or do you want to move forward? Acknowledging it and just, but that choice is so powerful right now.
Yeah. Um, and I think with so many things that are being thrown at us, it kind of feels like, thrown at us, like, and I don't mean that in such a, sometimes it feels like, oh my God, what am I doing with this? But I just think there's also a lot of things that are coming up to make new choices and directions and how we're navigating things. And I know personally in my life, and I can really feel like this is the energy and the theme that's deepening as we go through into August, as we go through the rest of this year, is there may be a lot of things going, yeah, you got to do this, you got to navigate this just came up, da, 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 da. But it's almost like, okay, like I'm ready for that. I have the energy for it. I'm kind of excited, even though, there might be more work and energy, but I'm kind of excited about the opportunities that are coming in, even if it's like we have a lot to do. Yeah. So as we lean into this fresh new month that is upon us here, on this date that as we're doing the live stream, we are having a Saturn going retrograde today. So just noticing Saturn will be going retrograde to November 15th. So the energetics of that, we are currently in the shadow period, as what we say for Mercury. All the planets have like a bit of a shadow period, but we really focus on and feel kind of more, I think, the Mercury one, just because Mercury happens 3 to 4 times a year, the retrograde, and it's so close and in personal energy that we feel like a lot of us, whether you speak astrology or if you speak energy at all, or any of those things, people notice something more different when Mercury goes retrograde. So it's in a shadow period and it will go officially direct or sorry, retrograde as of August 4th. So just feeling into this moment. I know that that's helping me just go, okay, here we are. What are we doing with these last few days of July? Where's the energetics right now? We already know we have um, Chiron went retrograde a couple days ago on the 26th. Pluto and Neptune are already retrograde too. Those are the energetics. A lot of things. These happen all the time. So this is not like, what? Oh my God, what do you mean all these planets are retrograde? They happen all the time. Just some at different paces and spaces in length. So we are here in the energetics. We are going to be moving into letting, into a new numerology. We're going from the 6 to 7. Nancy's going to talk a lot more about that and just shifting. So I'm just going to invite you, wherever you are, just to feel where you are in the moment, where we are in this time, whether you are here joining us on this particular day, live or later on, or you don't get to this till a few days into August, wherever it is, just feel where you are. Feel how your body, where it is, what it's feeling like. Is it landed? Is it grounded? Are you in yourself? Do you have to call back your energy and bring your focus more inwards? Do you feel possibly a little overextended and energy flowing too much out of you? Just take a check-in. Just a check-in. And how do you want to be feeling? And make any little adjustments, because that's what we realize. We can do this in an instant as soon as we bring our focus and our awareness to the moment, to ourselves. So make those little adjustments, maybe bringing your focus more back into your body, allowing your breath to deepen. Become aware of your breath. Become aware where you're standing or sitting, wherever you are in this moment. And just take note. And whatever day it is, just call that to you. Bring your awareness to the date. I have been waking up and I've been saying the date. And I've actually been, as soon as I stand up from bed, I like literally say the date and welcome the day and the date in, so that I'm like, I am here, I am present. So maybe just calling yourself into this time, wherever that is for you. And how will you embody the last few days of July? Or maybe how did you embody? Because maybe it's beyond this time. How did you embody the last few days of July? And taking a little moment, even just thinking of the highlights, a little gems of that really brought happiness and joy to your life, or gifts and blessings to your life of July. Just call in just a few. What were they? And as the door opens to this fresh new month and all the possibilities of this fiery, fun energy of August, what are the things that you're looking forward to in August? Or how do you just want to feel? How do you want to step into your day, into this month for yourself? Just take a little moment with it. So Nancy and I welcome you coming into this moment with us. We welcome you to this August forecast. And as we move into this fiery Leo season, Nancy's like, I'm just going to slow it down, stretch it out, bask in the sun. I'm going to take in every little drop. And I could feel that myself. I was like, I want to taste every little last bit of this month. Oh, yes. So Nancy, how are you
Mm.
going to be doing that? And how are you feeling with the numerology energy as you're shifting through?
Mm. Well, I love that. So we are currently in July, we are in the six energy, right? And we are moving into August, which is going to be a seven. But this seven energy for August is made up of one plus six. Like that's how we get to the number. And so it's like, oh, okay, we get to add on like a little bit of a new spark. And so it's kind of like it gets to be easy. I feel like this transition between months, sometimes they can feel like this big, woo, right? But I feel like it is that, okay, we're starting the month in the middle of the week, like on Thursday. And so it's like, okay, the next few days are real, we're in our heart's energy. And it really is just inviting this easeful spaciousness, like that dog days of summer energy, long, restful, allowing yourself space. Like even though you may have a bunch on your to-do list, things that need to get done, give yourself space in between those things to enjoy, intentionally create joyful, pleasurable moments for yourself as we lead into August. I feel, there was July was a lot of energy, a lot of emotion. And we knew that, right? We talked about that. Like it was like that Cancer season, allowing all of those feelings and emotions. And I know personally, like I'm like, boom, those last 2 weeks, even when we were in, had already moved into Leo, like it was just like, whew, emotion central. And so I feel like, okay, giving time this last few days to be like, to honor that, recognize it, and also be like, okay, what do I want to create in August? Coming back to that choice place. And the numerology really wants to support us with that, with being in our hearts. And then we start out August in the diamonds, which is that physical energy. And so seeing what it is that we want to create around us.
What's the first? I mean, I can tell you it's a number 8 day, which,
Yes,
my person
totally.
8 energy for a day. So I'm like, ooh, not only are we starting August 1st with an 8 energy day for all of us, and then some of you really align to that personal day. But we also have Lunasa, the wheel of the year. We have that turning of the wheel. We have that's the first harvest celebration. If you're someone that honors the wheel of the year, the sacred seasonal year. So what's that numerology? At least that we're starting with the diamonds. What
Yes.
is that day?
So it's eight with the Queen of Diamonds.
Queen. Okay.
Yes. So I have that like
Ooh.
highlighted.
I feel like, when I think of Lunasa, or Lunasa, Alamas, there's a few ways that you can say that particular day. I think of sunflowers and that golden grain in the sunlight, just gold. And I think of a female out in those fields and just illuminating. A queen of diamonds with the 8 on that day. Yeah, that's just like the full like archetypal kind of like shiny imagery of it. So I love that. So it just feels extra powerful and abundant stepping in the energy of August 1st.
Absolutely. It's like
Yeah.
experience that wealth, like experience that abundance, experience your prosperity. Like it is here for you and you get to claim it. And it's like, it feels like that day is just super potent
And so
for
I feel
manifest.
like, Nancy and I do every month, we kind of intuitively flow. And so we move with the energetics too, and how we're presenting things to you guys. And it feels like a lot of let's bring you into the feeling of where we are, the feeling of August 1st. Like as we go through this month, I think that's going to be our theme, how we're going to
Totally.
give this forecast for you guys. I can see it already. So I just like with that energy of August 1st and it arriving to start to open the door. I see that like a beautiful door open. Of course, we know we got Lionsgate, we got 8-8 portal, we got all of that going on. So there's a lot of doors opening, portal energy, golden light, sun. Like there's all of that as soon as we come into this month. And it's not just August 1st, but that's what August 1st is saying. This is your gift for the month. Here you
Yes.
go, step into it. And Lunasa or Lunasa, Lamas, whatever you want to call it, it is the first harvest, meaning we're connecting with the land. We're really seeing the first harvest of our produce and various things getting so abundant. So it's not that we haven't had things going, but like my beautiful yellow zucchinis, I just picked my first couple in the last 2 days, and there's just like things are really getting really strong and vibrant and abundant. So we get our first big celebration, and it is a celebration of the land and the work we have put in to, whether we have created gardens and or planted flowers around our home, or the kids have worked hard through all their last school year and they're in their summertime, and the family, the parents that are doing various things and celebration of family more and doing things with their kids. And like, I want you guys to feel, that's why we call this a sacred rhythms forecast, because we want you to feel the rhythm of the essence of what it is for you and where we are. Because as time is shifting, things are collapsing and all the other things, this is going to become even more important. Our internal compass and connection of life and land and family and connections, not the chaos and the noise, or even that calendar. It is August 1st. We got a 9 to 5 job here. We got a blah, 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 blah. Like, there's life, but we get to create more. There's a lot of creativity coming into this month. How are you feeling with that? As maybe we can go through that first, first to the that Sunday, the 11th, maybe, that kind of first week in a bit. What's
Yeah,
going on,
yeah.
Nancy, as
Um,
we move into
and
that?
so so I mentioned like August is a 7 energy month, right? So the 7 really is asking us to be called higher. It wants us to connect with our higher selves, to remember who we are and what it is that we want to express out into this world. And like with that 1-6 combination of it, it's like it wants to make it really easy for us this month. It's not, sometimes the 7 people can feel a struggle with it, and it's like, no, okay, no, it's like we are here to support you. That 1 and 6 is just like, yes, bring it forth, allow it to come up. And then like the 8, you see, I'm already like, the August is an 8 on its own right, just, and we're in that 8 energy year. We have the 8 portal, Lion's Gate, that you're probably seeing lots around, right? And so as we're moving through this first 11-12 days of August, like it is really a beautiful gateway here. We're in that diamonds energy, which I really love. Like it's that physical, seeing it in front of you, right? There's that whole, so partner that with, seeing is believing. So that 7 is really, no, believing is seeing. The other way around. Yeah. So the 7 is really asking us to believe, and the diamonds really want us to then be able to see it. And so we start out this beautiful month with that 8 energy, and it's like, okay, that flow, that abundance, that mastery. And then we are fortunate, we get that 8 energy 4 times this month. And we get the 9, and we get 1s and 2s. So those 4 numbers we get 4 times this week. So I feel like there's so many opportunities to level up, to begin again, to add on to what is our, like, what's going well gets to get better. What maybe is time to release, you get to release and choose again. And it's like the energy of this month is really allowing that over and over again, just easefully. It's not a struggle. And like when we look ahead to the 888 portal, like the actual day of August 8th, we have this 6 energy with the 5 of diamonds. And so that 6 just really reminding you you're wrapped in this warm hug, you are embraced, you are held. And that 5 of diamonds is like you get to evolve and change and experience a change in your physical situation. So what it is that you've been working for can come to fruition on that day. We also have the new moon in here on the 4th, and that's the new moon in Leo. So it's reminding you to celebrate yourself that day. Like, who are you? Step into your power. Celebrate you. Let your roar out. It is a 2 energy. So really connecting inwards with yourself, connecting inwards with spirit, connecting with others. It also is a 9 of diamonds. So you've heard me talk about this before, like that whole releasing to receive. Like, what is it that you're holding on to so tightly? Let it go so that it can come in. Like, and I just really under that, like, we talk about full moons more to being releasing, but it's like, no, under this new moon, let it all go and let what's truly meant for you come in and land.
Oh my gosh. So there was just so much in there. I hope you guys had pen and paper and took a little notes. And what I'm like, I love that what you said, like what we have kind of like been dreaming of working for, it's like claim it. Like it's coming in, rejoice. There's a rejoice feeling, like celebrating energy that's coming in. And um with so that's going to that 4th, August 4th, and we have new moon in Leo. Give you guys the time and dates for those that like to know that. 7:13 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so 4:13 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that's when it gets to it's on that, it's in the darkest, right? Leading up, it's got to this darkest point of quietness and stillness and inner reflection. And then as we move past that time, it slowly starts giving that illumination, slowly coming back. It's at 12 degrees of Leo. So if you guys like to follow and see how that really says, it's saying something more for you to focus on the wisdom within your own natal chart, go look at your natal chart, astro-seat.com. That's where I like to go check out things. That's where I tell my students to go. You can get your free astrology, like natal chart there, birth chart, and there's lots of free stuff. If not, reach out to Nancy and I. We'll definitely run a astrology foundations course for you because we love teaching that. But for those of you like, I got it, 12 degrees, you're going to find where 12 degrees is of Leo in your chart and what house and what's happening, what else is going on around there, because it's just going to give you so much more too. So new moon, right? Setting those intentions, going into the inner wisdom and stillness of ourselves to know Leo, like there's that wisdom, that light, that fierceness of self, right? Self fire, it's a fire energy. Leo itself and ruled by the sun. So even though there's a stillness, it just kind of says in your own self, in your own wisdom, you got this. You're so powerful. So this new moon is so beautiful. And Nancy said, yes, normally we think of full moons releasing, but there's also this check-in point, like a cleaning up, awareness that can happen within this new moon in Leo. So 12 degrees, wherever that might be, will give you a little bit more medicine, a little bit more guidance of what might be coming up for you. And also on the 4th, of course, like I said, we have Mercury will actually start to go retrograde on that day too. So just for you guys to be aware of, nothing to freak out or get fearful of. And we can make jokes. I think I sent some memes out even to Nancy this weekend about retrograde and a whole bunch of planets. And it's fun because there is a little bit of a shift of energy. Things get shooken up. But any retrogrades are just, there is gifts there. There is that gift to like slow down, inner reflection, possible to rewrite things, right? To relook, to rest a little more, to listen, like all these beautiful gifts get shown to us and come up, but they're coming up in an internal world. Things we see with Mercury retrograde is in the external world that we're personally is things like way we're communicating, technology, any of those kind of things, travel, like we might see those bumpiness. So we always say during retrograde, especially at Mercury, you want to take extra care of making double checking things. If you got to sign something, slow it down, make sure you're really sure about your choice, what you're doing. Ask the questions, listen to that internal guidance. If there's something to say, listen to this, ask this question, or just hold on, just pause, hear what's coming in for you. So that this is a deepening of self, a fine tuning these retrogrades. So retrograde, the 4th, Mercury, and of course that's going to be to the 28th, and then it starts going direct. I want to say, remember, planets are actually not spinning, turning, they're backwards. It's just they're retracing what they just kind of went through on the zodiac signs through the degrees. So they're kind of retracing a certain part. So you might find that if you know where they're retracing, and I didn't write down, I'm pretty sure last month I might have said some of these, looking at what degrees it's retracing to and where it is, you can look at that personally in your chart too, to go, oh, it wants me to really focus on this, this particular area of my natal chart and the gifts that are in there. We move into that full, like, the 5th to the 11th of August. I'm looking at that and just like, it feels really good. Like, it feels like we get going where there's a lot of celebration. We still are in those diamonds, which is very earthy, realm, tangible. I think like those, it's the 3D realm. We can manifest it, we can touch it, we can have it, we can experience it. So everything we're still in those diamonds of that, we get to really touch and feel things in our lives, right? So we start to really feel that essence of it. And just going through for anybody that likes, I always mention this, I'm sure we'll be getting a little notice next month about the new books for the beautiful Magic. I always say Magic of Eye. Yes, Magic of Eye. Sometimes I go Eye of Magic. Magic of Eye books. And they're beautiful calendars, and they kind of give you highlights of certain things that are happening every month. So I just like that retrograde, like I said, happens that day, but also on the 4th, Venus will enter into Virgo. There's a lot of energy that shifts at the 4th. So we just like to highlight that too. A lot of energy shifting. So Venus, she's right now, she's in a lot of fiery Leo, but she gets to go into Virgo where she grounds in, and she does love that. She gets into that. Venus is ruled by, or not Venus, sorry, Mercury. Virgo, let me get on the right. Virgo is ruled by Mercury. And so the communication, the way she's going to communicate, very clean or grounded because it's an earthy sign, all those things. So there's going to be like just there's such a gift that's happening on that 4th that leads us into that first full week. Nancy, going into the second week of August, the 12th.
So we start the 12th off. Sorry, we start the week off on the 12th with the 1 energy and the Ace of Diamonds. And so that feels like super powerful to claim your worth. Who are you? You are worthy just for being here. Like, you were put on this planet, and for that reason, you don't have to prove anything to anyone, even yourself. Get out of your own way, and just know that you are worthy of all of your desires. And then the next day we move into the clubs, which is more of our thought energy, the way we communicate, our ideas. And we start that with the King of Clubs and a 2 energy. And so it's like, okay, on that day, really know that you are your own wisdom keeper. You have the answers within you. And that 2 is like, okay, if you're forgetting that, remember to connect inwards with yourself, connect with spirit, and allow those ideas to come into flow. That would be a really good day to do some journaling, some meditating, go for a walk if that's what helps to clear your thoughts, and really allow for that space to allow them to come in, but no, even as they're coming in, they're actually coming out because they're already in you. And then the next day we have the 3 with the Queen of Clubs, and so it's like, oh, now you get to be of service to others. You get to express outwardly those thoughts. You get to share with others from this place of service. Like, and so it's not, you should do this. It is like, hey, let me share my wisdom with you. And that feels super powerful. And then as we progress through the week, there's just more and more amplification of that, expressing your thoughts, allowing your thoughts, and really your ideas, and really allowing them to flow with ease and grace. We have like this 4, 5, 6 partnered with the Jack, 10, and 9. And it's just like this fun and ease, a lot of opportunities to be able to share and to connect. And then when we hit the 18th, we have that 7 energy with the 8 of clubs. That's just like, okay, like, here you are being called higher again and willing to share it out and to go with the flow. And then we flip that on the 19th when we start the next week. And it just continues to be this beautiful, it feels very easeful and flowful through those weeks.
Yeah. I love how the 19th, there is that flip.
Yeah.
You know, which I'm like, I love that. And so,
and I just noticed that it's the full moon as well.
on the 19th.
Oh.
Yeah. So, whoo, I'm looking through that whole week, you know, I'm like, and when you're talking there, I'm like, so we're in this Mercury retrograde then, and we move into the clubs, right? The clubs of like the communication and how we're receiving. So there's extra support for us to deepen in to that part of ourselves of communication and knowing, and how we're speaking, how we're receiving, how we're speaking to ourselves, how we're speaking and wanting ourselves like outwards to others, but also how we receive out in that communication when I think of clubs. And I love how you said the 13th, the Tuesday, the 2 energy day with when we move into the clubs, the King of Clubs, you are the wisdom keeper. So I've a little highlighted that day. Remember, like, look at the 13th, like, you know, see what's on your calendar that day. Think about, like, you know, that shift of energy. So when we say, whether you fully get, like, you might be new to the numerology, say, and whatever part, numerology, cardiology, astrology, just take the little essence and mark the little dates that were like, there's a little turn, there's a little something in there. And that's a beautiful message for yourself that day as we move in on that 13th, on that Tuesday, of like knowing thyself and being like in an empowered state there and really knowing, really knowing. And as we move through that rest of the week, the 14th, that's when Mercury will actually move into Leo. So we're getting like the little shift there in that the next day of the energetics of what it's going through, retracing, stuff like that. And then it just feels like be in the week, be in the moment. Like there's, you know, there's all these things that are happening, but I'm like, the numerology is really standing out, and just the essence of this is then in our last full week of Leo season 2. And so as we move into that week of the 19th and we get the full moon, we're literally just a few days off of going into Virgo season. So that full moon energy on that day, and like Nancy said, we go from the Sunday of an 8 of clubs to a 7 energy day, and the very next day on the 19th is the 7 clubs with the 8 energy day. Like, it's almost like this, there's a mirroring but a powering up, a fine-tuning within it. And I love the 7 and the 8s that are happening within there. So that full moon on the 19th is at 27 degrees. So getting pretty at the end. And it's 27 degrees of Aquarius. So it's the Aquarius full moon on the 19th at 27 degrees. Look at that on your chart. It's at 2:26 p.m. So 11:26 a.m. for on the Pacific Standard Time, but on the West Coast. So right, that's always good to kind of know when it's really peaking, when it's at its coming up to the most powerful point. I always think, the energy building up to a full moon and then the few days after. There's always like, you can take it for 2 days before, 3 days before, and the 3 days after. Like there's just like a chunk of energy as it builds up to the full moon, and then the almost like the energy and the work that you've put into it and the awareness at that point, those next few days afterwards, it's almost like it's just resonating it for you, like still working with the energies. Like when you get a Reiki session, if you've ever gone for Reiki, we always say there's like, this keeps working with you. And the word 3 is like a magical day, like number. We will say like next 3 days, the work we just did is working with you. So the full moon energy is kind of working with you with what you've put into it to that fullness of it, of Aquarius full moon on the 19th. And what else I see that week is that 22nd, we do move into Virgo season. So we leave that fiery sun ruled season of Leo, that has brought us so much play and fun and everything. Now we're starting to get into, we go into Virgo, and Virgo's Earth. Virgo is mutable too. Mutable meaning it wants to like switch things up because something else has to come, a new routine. But don't parents and kids start feeling that week or so leading up to September, like, okay, we're finishing off our holiday season and the kids got to get ready for for the September. Parents have to get ready. Like there is that energetic, and whether you have kids or not, or your kids are at done school and whatever, you still feel it collectively, the shift coming, right? I know I do. So on that 22nd, we move into Virgo season. Nancy's going to go through the numerology and everything of that. But Virgo season, that's really kind of the highlight that I have for myself that week, seeing that shift into that earthy, feminine, grounded kind of energy of the maiden, the virgin energy that we have with Virgo. And of course, like I said before, Mercury rules Virgo. So there's like more support in there with that, with communication on that.
So when we're looking at that week, it's like, okay, on the 20th, we have my birthday, just FYI, but we have the 9 and the 6 of clubs that day. So it's like, okay, that day really continues with that releasing from the full moon. That 9 energy just wants us to be like, okay, let it all go. And that 6 wants to remind you, though, that even that when you're letting go, you get to hold on to the things that are the thoughts, the ideas, the parts of you that are meant to be here. And all of you is meant to be here. But there's those times where it's like, okay, this isn't serving me right now. So I'm letting that go with love and grace. This, even though it's like that, we're in that fiery Leo still, but it is that let it go with a gentle flame. You don't have to go burn it all down. And then we move to the 21st, and we have the 1 with the 5 of clubs. And so like through the rest of the week, it's this building of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of just like, okay, I've let those things go. Now I'm building up again, and I'm remembering who I am and what's important to me. And the club's energy is really supporting with that, with like the 4 of the stability and the 3 of that outward expression, the 2 of remembering that you're always connected to yourself, to spirit, to share with others. Ask for help. I keep hearing that this month as well. Like, just there is all the helpers out there, whether they're people physically in your world, whether they're spirit, whether they're whatever it is to you, just be willing to ask for help, and not to control how that help comes. It's like be open and willing to receive. And then we finish off on the Sunday with this 5 energy and the Ace of Clubs, which is just like, okay, settle, like, where do I want to move now? That 5 energy is this like, okay, where's my next evolution? And then we move into the hearts. for this final week of August. And so it's like really for that last week of quote unquote full summer vacation. We know that summer is rolling off. We still have 3+ glorious weeks of it after, but because of that whole school Labor Day thing, all of those things, we collectively do kind of feel like, okay, it's like we're in that heart's energy for that final week. And it's like, live it up. Really, we start with the 6 and the King of Hearts. And that just feels like, oh my God, hug yourself, hug your life, lead with love, know that love is all around everywhere, and look for it, see it, share it, seek it out. Like that entire week just really feels potent to just love all aspects of who you are and who everybody is around you. Like let go of any judgment, let people be themselves. And this is a great reminder for, because we have a big family holiday that week. And right, we'll all be sharing a house together. And I'm like, yes, just like, and I'm super stoked on it. And that reminder of just let everybody who be who they are, and you be you, and love each other where everybody is at. Feels really potent in that last week. And then we end the month off on the 31st with this 2 energy and that 8 of hearts. So like, just once again, like the 8s are so potent and rich this month. And we are in this 8 energy year. So just really tuning into that in infinite possibilities. All the magic and the miracles are here for you this month.
Like breathe that in, breathe all that in. As we, I'm just going to highlight a couple things Nancy says as I put into my calendar spread here. I just want to add the highlighting what she said on the 25th, the Ace of Clubs day with the 5 energy. Where is my next evolution? What is my next? Where is it? What is it? Feel it, see it, open it up, step into it. Like freaking step in it with excitement and love and rejoicing. That word rejoice is like really loud for me this month as we're doing this. Like, and step into it. And then she said on the 26th, on the Monday, hug your life, love your life. Like we're stepping into that, the heart's energy with the King of Hearts, and running through those high numbers of the cardology, which is essence and energy. And you want to go over to Cosmic Earth Weavers. Nancy and I have done workshops, little mini workshops with cardology and with day numbers. So if you're like, what do you guys talk about? I want more. Know that they're there to help you and support you. But we have that, like, yeah, this last week of just like loving up your life, loving up. This is the good time to do that reflection of kind of what I just said, where we are right now, these last few days of this month. Taking stock, what has your summer been? What has the last, few weeks of August that's gone by? Like, what can you celebrate and drink in? I keep on seeing the drinking in the nectar. I see like drops of golden, like honey, like it's just like it's dripping through this month. And it's like, drink it, taste it, embody it, let your life be it, surround yourself in it, whatever that is. But there's just such this nectar of life kind of feeling. And some of you are like, you guys are seeming so, oh my gosh, you guys are just so positive about this month. I mean, we're pretty dang positive about last month too, but like, even when we talk about the chaos out there getting louder, and we talk about time speeding up, and then we're like, hey, this is what we're seeing. This is what's going. It's bouncing. There is a rise. Like we had a few years, guys, which things were just darker, heavy. Like it is like we're just trying to keep treading the water, keeping our head above the water. Now, even though there's other stuff going on, there has been, and I hear this and see this right now intuitively coming in, there's been a tipping point. So even though there's stuff going on, there is an energetic, a flow, a wave that's saying, come on up here. Like you're grounded, you're embodied, you're not just BSing freaking spiritual shit out of your mouth and trying to be all positive when you don't feel it. No, it's find it in you, find that current, find it. It's there as an opportunity. There is an energetic wave that is lifting up, that is golden and light, along with the heavier darkness, but there's an easier flow and support. And Nancy else said, ask for the support, right? You did say that, or was I?
I did. Yes.
Yeah, like ask for the support too. If you're having days that are just like, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't get my head up. I'm still in the turbulence of other stuff. Okay, first of all, let go and surrender. Allow yourself to float to the surface. That's what I'm saying. Allow yourself, I'm seeing it. Allow yourself to float through these darker waves that may be moving around. Allow yourself to float to the surface. And on the surface, it's in that balance of maybe dark and light. You're in the in-between. Let light at least bathe the sunlight upon the upper part of your body if you're floating in water. And that the darkness and the turbulence that's maybe filling under you, it's medicine and wisdom. And let it be alchemized and reach out for support. Cosmic Earth Weavers has 2 supportive calls that are going to come up in August too. We just had them in July. One is on the 12th, which is the healing room at 12 noon Eastern, or yeah, Eastern time. And then on the 26th, the social. So these are private calls where we're doing some healing for us that come in. We can share our healing. There's always people there that are, the leads, but also we're collectively helping with healing. You can either be active or just receiving, or both. And then our beautiful call, we just had one last Monday, was it?
Yeah.
Where we come in and chat and share and get to know each other, but like we talk about whatever's there. And if you want the support, those that are there can offer some support and guidance or just witness you. So just know if you're, those are great things, free, that are there to help you, whether you're struggling a bit or you're like, oh my gosh, I got so much energy and light. I want to put it out. Like bring yourself to it. But this is just a beautiful last week. And we have Mercury going direct on the 28th on that beautiful 8 energy day. We also have on the 29th, then Venus goes to Libra. So we had Venus went into Virgo on the 4th, that a lot of activity on that 4th. Then she's going into Libra, and that's her home sign. She has 2 home signs in the year, Taurus and Libra. And as Nancy said, she's got family stuff going on that week. Well, Libra's really great for relationships and bouncing in harmony and love and care. And so I think we're going to feel that extra support that last week with Venus going into Libra in her home sign with that. And just I usually don't like using this word, but it's coming up, the juiciness of the week. I mean, it's been a word for quite a few years now, the juiciness of things. I actually cringe when I hear it. But there is, I actually am getting a lot of imagery like right now as I said that. I'm seeing like one of the most delicious peaches. Like you just picked it off a tree. It has been just so ripened by the sun and the sweetness, once again, the sweetness of life. Maybe get some peach juice, I don't know. But there is just like, enjoy what life is offering, what is there, including the harvest of Lunasa and everything, right? Yeah, that, I mean, top themes, I think we've said a lot of them, but having courage, that's the Leo. The creativity is Leo. Having fun. We've been saying fun and talking about childlike stuff for a few months, Nancy and I, and it's been building. And this month is that childlikeness. And even though it's really busy and there's maybe lots of things are moving, like, oh my gosh, what's my next evolution? And all these things are coming up. Do you remember when you were a kid? And maybe your life is partly like this, especially if you have kids, but bring yourself to that time of sweetness of life when you were a kid when all there was really was enjoying summer, seeing your friends, going out for a bike ride. Can't wait for that beach day. Lounge around, making forts, whatever it is, family functions, birthday. Remember how it was just that? I mean, as kids, right? We didn't, hopefully, you were a child that you didn't have to worry about too many things. And I know that that's not a case for everybody out there, but bring that essence where you felt it in even little moments in your life. You get to create it and bring it into your life, even here as an adult. So allow yourself all of that, all that goodness for August. So as we started this month where we were with feeling into that, I want you to feel yourself throughout the month, taking these little sacred pauses of the beauty of life, the surrendering when you need to, and the fun and play. Nancy, do you want to finish with anything as we wrap up our time?
Just be kind to yourself. Be here in the moments where, and when you aren't, forgive yourself. Be gentle, and just that sweetness of life is really coming through right now. I'm like, oh yes, and that it is available to us even when it doesn't feel like it. You can bring in those moments, and as you bring in each moment, that amplifies it for the next moment. And yeah, and that we really love doing these forecasts, and we hope that you guys, they benefit us just as much as we hope that they're benefiting you.
Yes.
And it's like we don't prepare for them, like talk to each other about what we're going to say. It just, we jump on and we're like, here we go, let's go. And um I really love and appreciate that. And I love this community. And I'm looking forward to these 2 calls this month. And we also have our card reading, intuitive card reading next
Monday?
Monday. Yes. Like that feels weird to say already, but,
Yep.
and yeah, and really looking forward to what this month has in store for us, and savoring the remaining days of July.
And I just want to say, for those of you that don't know, I mean, this will be what, our 4th month maybe now
Mhm.
with the card reading. Like it's a card reading kind of forecast for the month, and we go week by week doing a card intuitive card reading. We each pick 2 cards, Nancy and I, for each week. And so there's an energetic intuitive forecasting that we do. So that, yeah, that's next Monday at 12 Eastern Standard Time. So there's that. And then on the 19th for the Cosmic Earth Weavers, I will be popping in. I don't have a time yet because I go with the flow with that day, but that Monday I will be popping in for a meditation and guided journey for you guys for the month. It's kind of like the midpoint of kind of landing ourselves in. Now, I do want to say before we go, yes, we did not talk a lot about this Lionsgate 88 portal, la 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 la, because there's so much out there. And I'll be posting about it. Nancy posts about it. You guys probably see so much. I mean, there is just so much. Yes, 88 portal, but we are in the gateway energy. We started on the 26th of July to the 12th of August. There's that 88. I don't celebrate a lot of the other portal energetic days of the year that have gotten really popular, unless I see some other things lining up to it. But we do, that 88 one's been around for a long time, and it's because there's a lot of astrological stuff going on with it, which is different than when you see next month's 9-9 or last month's 7-7, or things, whatever it is. That 8-8 and where we are in the Lionsgate, there's an astrological alignment of energy, which is, we're working with Earth and the Sun and Sirius and Orion, like these star systems and alignments. And it's just this evolutionary portal opening that's happening, with very cosmic high light and extra communication and ascension of and various things, whatever words you want to call it. But keep an eye out. I'll be talking about it, sharing things. Nancy will be too, and everybody else. Like, I mean, a lot of people share a lot of really great things if you want to lean into that more. So just in case you're like, well, you guys didn't highlight that, that is the reason why. Just go be on that beautiful 8 energy day with the 8-8 portal on a 5 of diamonds day with the 6. We gave you enough just even on that alone, right? So let it be whatever it feels like for you. Enjoy this beautiful month ahead, and we look forward to seeing you guys whatever September is going to come up. But let's just be into the last bit of the full summer that we feel. So thank you, Nancy. Once again, it's always fun doing these, and thank you everybody that has joined or will join us on the replay. Say hi, and also share this out if you find that this is helpful for others. I will be posting this on my YouTube channel too, so you can always share it out to others if you find it supportive for others. So enjoy your day, Nancy.
You as well.
Okay. Bye for now, guys.